Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Mortal Kombat 1 video! Alright, so today we're going to be doing something exciting. We are going to be watching Chapter 1 of the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1 together. Okay, so this is exclusive early access to the first chapter of the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1. And before we actually get to check it out, I need to give a huge thanks to WB Games and NetherRealm for not only giving me the opportunity to see this early, to play this early and share it with you guys, but for providing my travel and accommodations to go out to Chicago so that I could get hands-on with this game. So again, huge thank you, Warner Brothers, for providing my travel and accommodation and giving me early access to this. I am so excited to share it with you guys. So I actually played this last week in Chicago, and I was able to record the footage of Chapter 1 of Story Mode, but now what I'm gonna do is actually watch it again as though I'm seeing it for the first time and kind of talk through some of the stuff I was thinking about with you guys. So we're gonna walk through Chapter 1 of Story Mode, and excitingly, the main character you're playing with in Chapter 1 is Kung Lao, which is a character that we haven't really had a chance to see much of his gameplay yet in any of the trailers or combat casts, and I know a lot of people are highly anticipating it, so very cool and exciting. So alright, let's get into this together. Chapter 1 of Mortal Kombat 1 Story Mode exclusive first look. Here we go. This was actually the first teaser that we got for Mortal Kombat 1. It was this little grain of sand, and it's very fitting.
Having liberated the Hourglass and become Keeper of Time, my next task was to restart history. Not beholden to past events, I was free to craft a new era. It was with humility
so
and
ridiculously
restraint
beautiful, right? For just an
that I
opening to a
approached this
game.
blank canvas. After careful preparation, I began work, painting over the darkness. After eons passed, I sketched out the realms. After eons more, I brushed them in with life. In my new era, all beings will have the opportunity to find peace. Whether or not they do will be their responsibility.
So that's something that I think a lot of people were wondering about.
For my power only permits me to begin this endeavor.
Is like, if Liu is in charge of everything, then why is it that things might go wrong? He explains it right off the bat that he's only supposed to set them on the path, but then they have to make their own choices and they can screw everything up. Ugh, it's so pretty. The menu is so ridiculously pretty. Oh yes, we'll skip over this. User agreement. But here you can see the full menu. Yes, I left it on medium because I'm, you know, not trying to challenge myself first thing. So here we go.
My friends, your patience is about to be rewarded, for I have saved the best for last. I have recently discovered a cure-all of unrivaled potency. It will soon be on the shelves in every home of Outworld. This elixir is crafted from an ancient recipe. It has Patreon flowers, Margovian nectar, powdered teeth of an Arctican dragon.
Did you see the little...
All this
I didn't even
and
notice
more,
this part before.
infused with
the
powerful
references to all the different
Lycorian
Outworld
magic.
groups, species.
There is a village in the next canton over, where everyone has purchased this miracle cure. Overnight, all
You
diseases,
guys know who this is. Were you
even
able to guess?
Tarkat, have
I definitely
disappeared.
guessed.
Now, magic this potent is expensive. And I am sure you're asking yourselves, can I afford it? But the true question you must ask is, can I afford to be without it?
You lie, Shang Tsung.
Did you guess?
Your cures are
Did you
useless.
guess? Did you guess? I just find it so cool that they started the story out with Shang. Because a lot of people were really curious the way that he was portrayed in the 1st trailer.
Sorry. You are.
Someone fool enough to
How
have
big he was going
believed
to be in
you.
story mode. And clearly...
My daughter was dying when you came to my farm. You promised a miracle, and I gave you all I had. But only days later, she was dead.
That is impossible. My magic could not have failed her.
There was no magic! I took your elixir to an Imperial mage, and you know what she said? It's nothing! Just bourgeois tea!
The mage is mistaken, kind sir. My elixirs are of superior quality. Their efficacy is guaranteed.
Shang's in trouble in this new era. Is he not, right? In trouble or causing trouble? Okay, so here's how the younger Shang that we saw from the
It is
preview,
an
but
excellent ruse, your disguise.
I'm a little disturbed by how attractive they made Shang.
Backwater folk are far more likely to trust a kindly old man.
Who's that?
Here on behalf of a dissatisfied customer. If it's revenge you want,
Kronika, isn't it?
have at it. If it's restitution, there's nothing left.
What I want, Shang Tsung, is to elevate you. To make
Sure
you
looks
the
and sounds
great
like Kronika.
sorcerer that now you can only pretend to be.
A generous offer. Why me?
You are uniquely resilient. Who else could eke out a living traveling Outworld's hinterlands, selling quack cures and fake magic?
A living. It is barely survival.
And you were meant for more. To live among kings, not peasants. But since before you were born, you have been conspired
Hello?
against by those who fear how formidable you could become.
How do you know this? Who are you?
I am your deliverer, Shang Tsung. Join me, and I will put the realms at your feet.
It's liking it a little too much. It's actually a really crazy sentence. But so that's totally Kronika, and I need to know. I need more information on what the heck is going on, how she still exists, and in what form she exists, and she's not the Keeper of Time. Like, what is she now? And what is she doing? Okay, so here's our Lao and Raiden.
This is a good harvest, Kung Lao.
Yes. It is a blessing, Raiden.
You would rather we starve?
No, of course not. But we've worked these fields since we were kids. In 40 years, we'll still be here. Stooped and feeble like Old Man Wei.
As long as I've known you, you've dreamed of leaving things young. Why can't you be happy here?
Our ancestors fought in great wars. They died with honor and glory. Stories of our great adventures will be passed down for generations.
It may not be glorious, but what we do helps the village thrive.
I know. But is it so wrong to want some excitement?
I love how Kung Lao
If that's what you want,
in
may
the
I
new
suggest a
era
bet?
is still like
Dinner at Madame
kind
Beau's
of
tonight.
just the same guy.
Last to fill their cart pays.
You work faster than me? Ha! Since when? You're on, Raiden.
Even though I feel like in this relationship with Raiden, he's kind of like the more senior of the two. Like, it's ridiculously pretty.
That is amazing.
I'm starving. I wonder what Madame Beau is making tonight.
For you two, whatever you want.
Thank you, Madame Beau. You spoil
Alright,
us.
someone's gotta
Like
tell
the
me.
sons I never
Do you
had.
guys feel like Madame Beau is kind of like Blanche from MKX? Or is that just me? It's like...
Have you two been practicing my lessons?
As we can. The harvest leaves us little time for martial arts.
But
Since your first
she's
words,
their
Kung Lao, you've
instructor.
mouthed nothing but excuses. If you fail to prepare...
Your preparations will fail you.
Good. You haven't forgotten. But we'll see if I make you anything special tonight.
I'm glad you're paying. Madame Beau might just pad the bill with her anger.
I am paying? You finished work last.
But I delivered my cart first.
Delivered? Huh. The bet was filled.
That's not what I remember.
So that's how it is, eh? What do you say we settle this man to man?
Okay. So the
Wait, you
basic
mean fight?
structure of the story
Yes.
mode is the same
Right
as
here,
has been
right now.
for Mortal Kombat
Madame
games.
Beau can watch.
In that,
critique
whatever
our
character you're
form.
playing in the chapter, you have 4 different fights that you go through. So
Best
you're
2 out of
going through
3?
the actual story part,
Fair
and
enough.
then you fight
You must be
4
careful.
different characters.
Madame Beau will kick us out if we break
And
something.
you have to defeat them to progress.
Oh, this
Now,
won't last long enough
just
for that to
letting you
happen.
know,
You will be down.
I am
in
trying
no
to play
time.
Lao here and have no experience with him at all, or know any of his moves, so I'm just doing the best that I can. Don't judge me too harshly. Just trying to figure out this pressing buttons. But you can see not only does he have his dive kick, which is really cool, as always, but he has it's like a Kami move.
Must we go another round? We both know how this ends.
And now, I don't know if you noticed, I tried to, and you see Lao doing it there, trying to do a hat throw. So I was told, in the story mode, you can see he has on this straw hat. You have to wait until you get further in the story mode to unlock his hat moves, because he doesn't have his razor hat yet. Which is still, like, interesting and cool that they thought of all these little details. But look at how beautiful the stage is and everything. It's ridiculous. And there's the same cocky old Kung Lao.
You haven't
See, he's
beaten
got a
me yet.
straw hat.
The day's coming, Kung Lao.
Keep telling yourself that.
You were hungry.
Oh,
Everything was delicious, Madame Beau.
Thank you, Raiden. You boys are always a pleasure to cook for.
Madame Beau, the Lin Kuei await your answer.
Just quickly, one thing that I
I
find
have been busy,
so funny
Smoke.
about this.
The Lin Kuei? Who are they?
don't
I
know.
just find it so funny because
I
there's
don't like where
this
this is
trend
going.
online
What
of
do we
people
do?
being like, oh,
Stay
Smoke,
ready.
Madame Beau,
Beloved sweet
is
Smoke.
a simple choice. Pay for our protection, or risk harm to this fine
Lin Kuei
establishment.
straight up
You'll
gangsters
get
in
nothing
this.
from me.
That, Madame Beau, is unfortunate.
No innocent sweetheart, he's about to beat up an old lady.
Madame Beau!
two are brave, but against us, you are in over your head.
We don't care who you are or who you are with. You will not menace Madam Bo.
Fight.
Most getting judges look so good. Now I also found that I only had this one move as an option with the rating cameo, so look at this smoke. I didn't notice that when I was playing.
You picked the wrong person to extort, ruffian.
Yeah, see, I could only do the one thing with the rating cameo. I'm assuming that's a story mode thing too, because his other moves are probably like lightning moves. But that's just a guess. Good job. Look at that! You can see I'm still trying to do the hat move because I have not yet been informed of the fact that...
To keep you unharmed, Madam Bo.
Yes, and now I looked. I actually looked because I was like, what? Where is his hat throw? And it's not there. So I had to wait till afterwards. I asked and I got confirmation that it doesn't appear until later in story mode. Going along with him not having the Razor hat yet. But I was like, he has to have that move, right? He does, don't worry. Just not yet.
We'll have to pay extra.
So I figured that out, which is awesome. So that's another move that he has. And then that also is like a... Here's me desperately looking again for like, how could I possibly play with Lao? And there I was trying to see, and indeed, it only gave me one cameo move for Raiden, so... Such is life. But this is a good opportunity to quickly glance at some of Lao's basic moves and strings.
Now who's in over his head?
So you can probably guess, if you've seen all the trailers, about what's about to come next.
This was you?
Honestly, I'm surprised too.
I find Raiden kind of adorable.
Let's help Madam Bo.
Free where you stand.
How does he do that?
I have no idea.
You would
interfere with Lin Kuei business. Leave or face our wrath.
Abandon Madame Bo. Not happening.
Get over here in there. Even the scorpion's a different scorpion.
Want more? I have plenty.
You should have fled when you could. Prepare to regret ever crossing the Lin Kuei.
Fight.
And now, this is one thing that I was seeing when I was doing this. The Sub-Zero cameo. One of the things that you can do, apparently, is come out, if you call him out, he puts a little ice shield around you. So basically, he gives you armor. It's one of the things he as a cameo can do, which is wild. Absolutely wild. It's so cool. I love your Scorpion. See, he gives you armor. I was so mad right there. Even though that's sort of quick looking. I blocked the fatal blow, and then I still got hit by
For what
the
it's
spear.
worth, I'm not regretting this yet.
I love that. Please excuse the terrible gameplay, like I said. It's my first time touching this character, and I only but look at the stuff that Scorpion can do. It's like, look at that! I'm scared about this. Legitimately afraid. I love that little music, that hit. And here's Scorpion's fatal blow.
Second guessing your choice to confront me?
Watch out. Obviously, if you guys have seen like beta, but there's quite a bit that you can do in terms of combos. Obviously, I didn't really have any of those yet, but I was trying to figure out, as you can see, after the Raiden cameo comes out, I could do the dive kick off of it. So I was kind of trying to piece some things together very, very quickly. But the other thing is, of course, it's important to know the launcher for whatever character that you are playing if you want to get the longer combos and the air combos and such, and you don't have any sense at this point. There I went. I tried to go for the hat again.
It is you who will regret crossing me.
Alright, so as I've said, it's the 4 fights in the chapter. Previous story modes. So, what Lin Kuei is left to fight? This just it just looks so beautiful. Oh my god, I totally forgot about this guy! He has literally freezing people's hands next to him. Oh
yes. Incompetent.
Yeah! I was trying to get the idea.
Oh, that works.
I have had enough of you.
Then go, before I put you down like the rest of your Lin Kuei.
You haven't a prayer against the Lin Kuei's Grand Master.
Fight.
I turned into a shark. The fact that Sub-Zero has a dash kick too is insane. Yes, and then so that pops up if you do the EX. So I'm like, let me just look at the strings one more time quickly, see if I can do something. Because I felt like I was starting to sort of piece some things together, but of course this was going to be the last fight, so it's always how it goes. Just when you're getting a handle on things.
Sorry, but I have to ask. Can any of you fight?
Now just showing up all the Lin Kuei. To connect it, but it didn't work out. I was trying to remember what I did previously, and of course what I did previously was I did the raiding cameo first, and then I tried to...
Are you sure you're a Grandmaster?
That's it! That is Chapter 1 of Story Mode of Mortal Kombat 1, Kung Lao's chapter. So that's all the footage that I have of Story Mode to share with you guys today. But I mean, I still think you got a good glimpse of what's to come, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff in here that left me like desperately wanting more to know what else is going to happen in this story. To start with, okay, so the stuff with Lao and Raiden, all very cool, very interesting, and the fact that we got to see some of Lao's gameplay, I really liked and appreciated that. The tip, as I said, about the fact that at the beginning of story mode, he doesn't have his hat moves because he doesn't have his actual hat that is a weapon yet. He only is wearing this straw hat. And then later on, you get that as you progress. I thought was really kind of cool and interesting, even though it was really frustrating me at the time. But a lot of cool stuff that you find out or that you get glimpses of. So to start with, the Lin Kuei, like I said, I find it hilarious that they're basically just a gangster group extorting local business people, like this old lady who apparently is also a martial arts instructor for Raiden and Kung Lao, interestingly. And she reminds me of Blanche, like I said. So all that stuff, people posting online about how, oh, sweet innocent smoke, and here he is beating up an old lady. But yeah, so it's interesting to see the positions that they're going to be starting off in, because of course we know just from watching the previews that pretty soon Liu Kang's going to show up and he's going to be trying to bring all of them together to assist him, which is going to be interesting. But then the big stuff, the big like reveals, shocking reveals to me, came at the very beginning of this before we actually get into Lao's section, and that is the stuff with Shang and Kronika. Because Kronika's in this. Does this mean that she's the big bad again, or is she some way connected to the big bad? I'm still confused as to how she exists in this timeline. Does she somehow exist like outside of this timeline and she's able to make her way into it in some fashion? Because of course she was seemingly destroyed by Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11, and that led into him becoming the Keeper of the Hourglass, the Time Lord. And I wouldn't imagine that he would just be creating her again in some capacity, so maybe she has to come from some other timeline, and that's the only way that she's able to be there, and she's trying to, like, take back control or what, through working with Shang and trying to give him powers. But does this mean she's going to be the big villain again? Because I would be surprised if they went that route. So maybe she's like a smaller villain, or like a hint of larger things to come. I don't know. And then, of course, the Shang stuff, as I said, when Shang was first shown off in the first big trailer, and it was shown that he was a pre-order character, people were really curious, especially since we haven't really seen anything of him since that first trailer, and we haven't seen any of his gameplay at all. People were really curious. Is he actually going to be significant in the story mode? Because we hadn't seen him anywhere. Or was that just for, like, the first trailer? Especially considering that he's a DLC character, and a lot of times DLC characters or pre-order characters don't have big story roles. People were speculating, is he going to be significant in that capacity? And obviously he very much is, since he's right there at the opening kind of teaser scene of the game. And yeah, and Kronika's basically like, someone has been conspiring against you to keep you down, Liu. Understandably. The fact that Liu even recreated him is wild, but he did. And here she is trying to bring him back into causing trouble in Liu's timeline, which he's gonna do. So, but yeah, so gives us some hints of things to come, but not really enough to have any clue where the story is going to be going. So, but it definitely gave me a huge appetite for more. So I cannot wait for the game to actually release, so that I can continue playing the story mode and see who else you get chapters with, where the story is going to go. Like, I'm so curious. But it's beautiful, really interesting so far. I'm so impressed by the facial animations of all the characters in this. It's mwah. I loved it so much. So, but I would like to hear you guys' thoughts now that you've had a chance to see some of this chapter 1. What are your thoughts on Kung Lao? On the way the story mode's going, on what you've seen? Are you excited? And other than that, I think I'm going to wrap this up. But just once more, I need to give a huge thank you to WB Games and NetherRealm for providing me with travel and accommodation out to Chicago, and providing me with early access to Chapter 1 of the story mode so that I could create content and share it with you guys. I'm so thankful for this opportunity. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.